Hello, welcome to Collaboration with Design Data. My name is Augusto Gonçalves. I'm a Forge Partner Development at Autodesk, part of the Forge, Autodesk Forge. So here's a quick summary of this presentation. So it's to learn how to combine the Forge model derivative, viewer markup, commenting, and data management APIs to create powerful reviews and collaboration workflows around your design. So that's the main summary of this presentation. So let's get started by looking at live. You can see it live at Heroku. There is also the source code available at GitHub, and there is a quick video showing the demonstration on YouTube. So let's see it running at Heroku. So here's the main web page. As this application is accessing data that is hosted under your account on A360 on the Autodesk Cloud, you need to sign in with your account. So let's hit on sign in, and I have to type my Autodesk ID, user and password. So here's my username, and I will also type my password, and that will authenticate on Autodesk and come back to the page, and that will load all my hubs on Autodesk. So I have two hubs. This is my main hub, and I also have a DevTech hub that I'm sharing with some of my colleagues. If I mouse over on the hub, I can see all the members of this hub. So I can see all those colleagues, and I can see that in this case, Mikako Harada is the admin of this project. If I go here, I can see that those are the members of this. I'm the admin, and Steven Preston in this case is a guest. So it's different from from the other project where I have users. In this case, I have guests. So let me right click on a specific project. Sorry, click on a project, and I can then expand and see the files inside this folder. I mean, so this is a project. This is the icon, and I can see the files. I can see here a folder. So if I expand an item, I can see all the versions of that item. If I mouse over a specific item, I can see the thumbnail of that item. If I click on it, that will load the Autodesk viewer with that model, and then I can have all the features of the viewer, and I can add a comment, for instance. So let's say this is a cool model. Let me post this. So this commenting is going directly to the Autodesk A360 commenting. So if I go to Autodesk 360 and log with the same password, so sign in, and if I log with the same password, I'll see the same projects, and you will notice that all the comments are shared between the two accounts. So I have the Forge, and then I have the Analyze, and let me close this. So I have the same model, and if I click on comments, I can see that's the same comment that I posted via the API. So they are sharing the same main interface. So if I come back to the sample, if I right click on a specific version, I can download that file. So download. So that's downloading the file. I can also do something else like sharing that file with Dropbox, let's say. So that will request me to log in with my Dropbox account. So I will type my Dropbox account here. And now I'm logged on the Dropbox, and I can again come back here and say send to Dropbox. And once the file is changed, my Dropbox icon right on the top will refresh and point to me that that is a new file on my account. So let me open Finder, and I go to Dropbox Applications, and here I have the file that I just sent. So the file was just sent to the account. So let's send again. So now it's syncing. You see the Dropbox icon syncing, and yep. So come back here, and I'll see it. Okay, so here's the file that was synced to Dropbox. Well, that's all the main features. If I come back, let's say, to this this project, and I expand, I can also upload a file to a project. So let's say I want to upload the file that I have just downloaded. So let me get this analyze file and upload. So the file will be uploaded to this folder. So all those features are available on the API. And now the project's refreshing. I can see the file. And if I mouse over, as of now there is no thumbnail yet because it's still translating the file. So if I wait a little bit longer, the file should be available. Yeah, now it is. And I click on it, and I can see the same file that was uploaded and translated to the viewer. So those are the main features available on this sample. So let's see how it works. Let's come back to the presentation. And well, there are some other applications that are doing using the same API. There is a sample from MakeTime, ACM Bridge, and of course Autodesk is also using the same APIs that are available. I would suggest you to go to the MakeTime and ACM Bridge to see how what's the new features that they have. In summary, the MakeTime application is accessing data on the Autodesk files and extracting all the pieces from that file. And the same is for ACM Bridge. They're extracting that information to extract the bill of materials of each sample. So they have new features every day. So the best way to see it is go to their website so they can demonstrate what's the new features they have available. On the Autodesk A360, we have billions of files, and also the upload and translation works for more than 60 types of files. So it's a big cloud with lots of files and data from users. So it's very interesting to access that data and allow your user to share that information with your application. So we have different parts of the Autodesk Forge that are available. So those are the building blocks. On the sample, I used the authentication, so that's the important piece. But the key points on the sample were the data management API and the collaboration API. There is also the model derivative and viewer API, viewer, the library. And we have some other building blocks too, but those are not really used on this presentation. The main focus of this presentation is the data management and the collaboration API. As of this moment, the collaboration API is not yet available on the portal, but the sample you saw is using part of that. It's just an internal private beta yet, but soon will be available on the developer portal. So about the data management API, we have a data structure for those files. So the main idea is that we have metadata that organize the data. So we have hubs and projects on the top. So those are the main entry points that we have. We can have a hub that we can share with someone else that we are working with. And then on the hub we have projects. And on the project we can go to the item or version, or have a folder and then the item and the version of each specific file. And at the very bottom we have the OSS, that's the object storage service, and that's where the files are really kept and maintained on the Autodesk cloud. So the project services and the data service, they're just basically a metadata to organize the information that we have on the Autodesk cloud. So we can play with that API. The easiest way to do it without creating code yourself is to use tools like Postman. There is also Pulse, but well, it's really up to you to decide which one you prefer. I'm using Postman as just as a convenience. And well, all the APIs are using the JSON API format. So it's the formatting of the JSON output is concise with the specification. And we have many different endpoints. So here's a very quick one, a very quick sample. Under the base URL is developer.api.autodesk.com, and then you can go to /project/view1/hubs, and then you can get all the hubs. All the calls to that API will require a header with the authorization and the token. So it's basically just, but to get the token, you need the OAuth2 authentication. Sorry about that. So here's a basic sample. So developer.api.autodesk.com/project/view1/hub, passing the authorization, and the value is Bira space the token that we got from the authentication, and then we can get the output, and contains the data that we want. So here's some of the endpoints. There is a big list of endpoints. So here's just a very basic list. So project under the project v1 hubs, passing the hub ID, and then the projects, we can get all the projects on that specific hub. And to get one specific project, just add the project ID at the end. To get a list of items on a folder, then we need to go to the data services. So data v1 projects, project ID, folders, folder ID, and contents. We can see all the files, all the contents of that folder. The same applies for a version. It's quite similar. So data v1 projects, project ID, items, item ID, and then the versions. So you don't have to memorize all those endpoints. The best way is to go to the documentation. The main documentation is available at developer.autodesk.com, and on that domain, just select the Data Management API. Let me just close this and open it again. It will be easier. Developer.autodesk.com. Select the Data Management API. That's the one we are using, and go to the API reference. So here's a list of all the endpoints available. So we're talking about, for instance, the hub ID or hub projects. So there is a description of that endpoint, what's required, what kind of scope we need on the authentication, and here we have the type of data that is returned on that endpoint. So you see there is a very complete documentation about all the endpoints. Then we have the collaboration API. As I mentioned, this is not yet available on the developer portal, but will be soon. The main idea is to get the list of comments. We can also add a comment, list projects members, as we saw on the sample. It's also possible to invite a project member to that project, or create public shares with or without password protection. And also be available the markup APIs for the collaboration API. So that piece is coming soon. That's why the list of endpoints is not here yet. Finally, what's next? The very first step is to go to developer.autodesk.com and create your developer key and secret. So go ahead, register, create a developer key and secret so you can start using it. There is as I pointed out, there is a lot of documentation at developer.autodesk.com too. So just select Data Management API and you can see all the endpoints. But there is also some samples of the API. So just click on this 1, 2, 3 icon. There is a step-by-step tutorial on some basic workflows, how to download, upload, create attachment, and some other samples. And finally, we have lots of samples. The sample that I showed at the beginning, it's available at the developer-autodesk GitHub repository. And finally, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask those questions on Stack Overflow. Just use the tag Autodesk-data-management. So that's it. You can post your question, and we are actively monitoring the Stack Overflow for new questions on Autodesk Forge. So that's the best way to get support. So that's basically it. If you have any questions, you can send me on Twitter. I'm very happy to answer any question that you have. Yeah, thanks for attending.